Again, Microsoft Game Studios. This is in a bit of trouble. So early on this week, they made the announcement that Redfall, which is a game that I am highly curious about, though there's no gameplay out for it yet. But they announced that Redfall, which was set to be releasing this summer, as well as Starfield, which me and Perry got a little head bumping contest about last episode at that, have
because
both been
we
delayed.
because more or less we wanted to know what the game was about when I'm informing everyone, which everyone should know. It's a Bethesda open world game. There's not too much to be even. It's just going to be that. But continue.
Yeah, but regardless of our opinions on how you should reveal games, they have announced that both of these games are going to be delayed until the first half of 2023. Why that's a problem? Because technically in 2022, PlayStation Studios has released more games for the Xbox than Xbox First Studios have, which is crazy. And it was not hard for Sony to actually achieve this. They only had to release one game, that's MLB The Show, which is a game that is created by PlayStation Studios. So, because Microsoft is now almost 6 months into 2022 and has still not released one first party exclusive game this year, their competitors in Sony have actually released more games on their own console than they have, which is insane. Um, no, I did not hear Sissy crying. Is Sissy crying? Okay, well, so Sissy is crying. But anyways, it's extremely alarming because, as we've said a million times on this show, Sony manages their studios in a way that allows them to be creative and to release good games. And Xbox is still struggling to accomplish this. So, like, I know you said you had a lot to say on this, Perry. Where are you?
So personally, where I'm at with this whole entire delay of game is that with this current gen of what between Xbox and Sony, I mean Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox has yet put anything of substance out that can match what Sony's lineup is. I was informed by someone on the interwebs that they have Flight Simulator. That is what we call a next gen game. It's probably the most beautiful game of all time. But I'm like, it's Flight Simulator. That thing's not breaking any type of walls. That thing's not innovating. That thing's just a flight simulator. So there's that. Outside of this, we also had a game called Halo Infinite, which was a huge disappointment in my standards because Halo was supposed to be the next big coming, which was highly disappointed, which was something I anticipated to get FPSs back to its height of all things, bring some of the greats from these FPSs back to the forefront, getting them away from the Apex, from the Call of Duties, and by hey, you know where to reach us. And then we still have the issues of that nature, and that wasn't catered to or really done well. So
Yeah,
Xbox hasn't been really winning and done anything of value outside of Game Pass. So we were looking forward to something like Starfield and Redfall, and to have them hear the delay come out is disheartening. But at the same time, I will also say it's heartening to hear to be like, we're willing to delay this. Cool. I'm happy that you guys are putting your money towards the developers to say, hey, we're not ready, and that's perfectly fine. Allow the developers to produce a game that's worth playing and putting, that investment time in for that. But my biggest thing is like you've said, stop announcing these games. Stop going forward with this.
yeah. I mean, and there's levels to it. Like, because like my gripe with showing these games, one, don't let your marketing department decide when your game is ready to be announced. Because a lot of this happens because I feel like companies just feel the need to include themselves in a hype moment. And Sony's done it before too. Like we what how long was it? We got the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer and it took like 4 or 5 years to deliver on it. So other people are guilty of it. But my issue with it is especially like if it's a new IP, don't tease it. Just show it when you're ready to show something for the game. Because now we're in the situation where you have millions of people hyping up a game that they expected to be out this year. We don't even know what the game looks like, and people are still pissed that it comes out next year now, and that's ludicrous to me.
I
So
wouldn't say announcing a new IP is bad. Where he's like, oh, there's a new IP in the works. Like, hey,
oh
here's a
no,
new.
no, no, no. So that's not what I'm saying. Like we need new IPs. That's where innovation and storytelling comes from.
Mhm.
But show us our new IPs when they are ready to be shown.
Okay.
Because you announce these games and you create pressure, and and there were actually statements where people from Bethesda were saying at the time that they announced the November 2022 date, at that point they already knew that they were not going to hit it. But what caused them to put that there? The E3 hype train. So like I would have much appreciated if we just didn't know what the hell Starfield is, because technically we still don't know what it is. It's just a Bethesda game in space. I would appreciate it much more if maybe we didn't know this game was coming. We just knew Bethesda was working on something. And imagine this, because I'm sure what's going to happen is I'm sure Starfield is going to be shown at the showcase next month. I think what June 13th is the date, and we're going to see gameplay of it there. I would bet my bottom dollar on it. But how much more impactful would it have been if we never got any other trailer for this game, and what we see on June 13th at their showcase was the first time that we ever seen anything from Starfield? And oh, by the way, this is from the people that bought you Skyrim. That would be so much more impactful from a marketing aspect. But because they want to have these long running hype trains, they do things like decide to announce them before the game is even ready to be shown. And I don't know, man. I hate it. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand the hatred for it, but I do not mind actually people these teams announcing new IPs. Like announce the new IP is perfectly fine. That's great. But to hint at it for so long, for like, hey, we got this coming, this, that, and the third, is pretty much played out when you have no substance for it to support what you got going on. It's like having a hypothesis and you ain't got nothing to show for it. Like there's no thesis statement, there's no this, that, and the third. You know, you're looking real weak sauce with it right now. You know what I'm saying? So I have gripes with it, but I'm not totally annoyed by it so far.
But there's one thing that's going to happen here, and I don't think that enough people are talking about this. The reality is, Xbox, Microsoft, they've doubled in studios over the last year and a half, and all of these games are working on studios. I mean, games.
Mhm.
It's going to be real crazy for Game Pass real soon.
They have to
Like,
they have to put a third party game on, like hard hitting third party games on Game Pass to make up for your your leading first party games that's not going to be produced on there.
yeah,
They
but
have to.
that's only for now. But think about this: we still got Hellblade on the way. Now we know Starfield and Redfall, both going to be in 2023. We know that Skyrim is on the way. We know that what's the other game they've got coming? Perfect Dark, which is still in a struggling position, but we know all these games are coming. So the interesting thing is, as much as they are struggling, at some point we're going to look up, and Game Pass is undoubtedly going to be the place to be. But it's just unfortunate that they have to struggle at the level that they're struggling at before they can actually get there.
Right. I feel some type of way because I was looking really forward. I was looking forward to Starfield. That was going to be the reason why I actually finally purchased an Xbox because I definitely want to play that game. I am a huge fan of Bethesda's titles, but this is extremely disheartening, man. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really wish. I don't know, man. There's a lot there. I just don't know what Xbox can do now
Yeah.
outside of Game
I,
Pass.
Game Pass is going Game Pass. I mean, it's just it's really hard. Like, and I feel bad in some respects because like I have friends that are diehard Xbox fans, and sometimes we have the banter because it's fun to poke and prod at each other. But reality of the matter is sometimes when you're sitting there and you talk to these guys, it's like, yo, man, that Ghost of Tsushima was fire. Like, did you check that out? Oh, no, no, no. Oh, okay. Man, did you ever get to check out The Last of Us 2? Oh, no, no, no. And some of these guys own these games, but they just don't play them because they're like, oh yeah, yeah, Halo, and it's like, well, are you still playing Halo? No. Well, what else have you played? And they don't really have anything to say.
They have
Um,
they have games that aren't
Noteworthy. I mean,
noteworthy. That's
yeah,
single to them outside of Halo. Even when Halo had that how can I say this? Had that one moment. Had their moment.
yeah, and a moment is what it is because season 2 is out and the community is not happy with it.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just really rough. Like, and because even for me, like I was extremely excited to finally see what Redfall is and gear up to play that this summer and check out Starfield this winter as well. And I respect the fact that they came out and said, hey, we need to delay these games. But it's just like insult to injury for anyone who was excited enough to go out there and buy an Xbox Series X. Now, and of course, this isn't necessarily for like, oh, Joe Schmo who gets Xbox because his friends play on Xbox and all he's going to play is 2K anyway. Like, his life is not changed. Like, he's only getting those big blockbuster multi platform games anyway. But for the person who's buying it because they are tuned into the Xbox ecosystem and that means something to them, like, it's gotta sting. So, shout out to those guys. Stay down because I'm sure 2023 is going to be the year for Xbox because they've delayed all their games into it, and then they still have a bunch of games that they've not announced that will probably release, hopefully in 2023.
Right.
You got anything else for Xbox and their delays and lack of management of their studios at this very moment, Perry?
I just want Xbox to essentially just continue trying to produce something of noteworthiness because Xbox isn't bad. They have, I mean, I just want Xbox. I didn't mean to do that. Xbox to do something. Do
Yeah,
something of noteworthy. That's it.
yeah, I'm sure they will. It's coming. Uh, and then I mean, again, they still have Hellblade in the chamber. Now, granted, Hellblade One was an amazing game, but that was like a 6 maybe 8 hour experience depending on you as a player. Um, and unless they are doubling down to like make that game more than what it is, it will be loved, it will be appreciated, but it won't be a savior. Um, and I love Hellblade, and I'm super excited for Hellblade 2, and I will be checking it out. But I don't know, man. Xbox has got to figure it out.
They have to.